Hello and welcome back to round 2 coverage of the 2023 New Zealand North Island Championships. This is round 2 front 9 lead card coverage of the MPO field as we have moved to the second course of this tournament, this beautiful 18-hole layout at Spa Park. I'm Connor Wood, and with me, Andrew Gum.
Great to be here. Thanks to MDG Media for bringing us this New Zealand coverage. There's the man
Speaking
behind.
of, yeah, we see starting our lead card here, leading the field at 9 under, Maxime Tanghe.
And leading that MDG crew to produce high quality footage for you all to enjoy. Man, the myth, the legend, Simon Feasey. 979 rated, shot a solid 7 down out on the golf course there, and guy behind RPM Discs.
Jackson Sullivan, another member of RPM Discs. You saw him in round 1 coverage. Make sure to go watch that if you haven't already. Very well-rounded game and really showed a great performance, getting to 5 under.
Yeah, Connagh McKinstry. Really impressed with his game. He's won it here before, so looking to add another trophy, and he was an all-around slinger. Pleasure to watch.
As we take a look at the standings, Maxime 2 strokes ahead of Simon, who is 2 strokes ahead of Jackson and Connagh at 5 under. 4 strokes separating our lead card here as we get started with round 2. We start here, hole 1, par 3, 132 meters. This fairway takes a soft left to right bend with this large tree in the right side of the frame acting as a mando. You have to play left of it and try to swing your disc right at the end. Really tough to get all of the distance with the forehand. I think we'll likely see some big turnover backhands or potentially some rollers. Nice sloped green to catch your discs coming in hot.
Yeah, great looking starting hole there. Left to right moving, big moving. Cool tee off bongos here from Maxime, and mashing on this one. Sweet move. Ah, caught by the last guardian trees there.
Hey, good luck, Simon.
Circle 2 though.
That was thrown with some intent. As we see Simon getting some love from the crowd.
Local love. Local hero. National hero, I should say. Well,
Global.
global hero, indeed. That's true, actually, yeah. RPM
As he connects with the Mando tree and falls right before it. Yeah, they've done a great job expanding even deep into Europe. A lot of familiarity here in Central Europe.
Yeah, and even quite a bit of buzz in the States as well. It's cool to see.
Jacko here, firing off a big drive, playing it out left.
These rollers were bonkers, man. That first round was so cool to watch Connagh rip on these. I think it shapes up pretty sweet for the roller if you can get to just kind of like ride up on the hillside at the end. That one didn't have quite enough steam to get all the way up there, but I do like the idea.
I'd agree, it shapes really nicely, and you can get that late turn. If you can get that late turnover to the right, shapes just perfectly. We see what Jackson's left with here.
Yep, just checking it right up into the hillside for the ridge.
You'll see what's left from the Mando tree here. Just a short little chip up. Hits the pin. Little kiss.
Simon.
And I believe that's Simon playing his lie, not from the drop zone.
Yeah, I think
I believe that's where it fell.
those trees just kind of knocked him down, and he's going to have an easy par. Maxime might want this birdie. Well, he surely did want it, but a little bit wide right.
As we see them now for their short par putts. I'm excited to see this new course coming here. Rounds 1 and 3 at the Taupo disc golf layout. This is Spa Parks. Interesting to mix it up. Gives our players a little bit more challenge and a few more holes to get familiar with, learn the lines on, adapt to. Asking for more versatility than a classic 3-round layout.
Yeah, and this one can't be as difficult as yesterday, so it's nice to have a little bit of a moving day relief from the extremely strenuous golf course layout.
As we move on to hole 2, par 4, 156 meters, players will need to throw a long, straight shot off the tee with OB marked by the red flags all on the left side. It narrows in very tightly here as the fairway bends sharply to the right, almost 90 degrees. This second shot hopefully giving them a look to the basket through this very wooded, very precarious green, and a nice elevated basket just to add an extra element of danger.
Very cool pin placement there and a really nice shape to this hole. Like it how you got to kind of get yourself in place before you can even think about getting up and down, and then it's no easy task after that. Really using that wood line perfectly.
And Max looking pretty snazzy today.
He's been kitted up nice over there. I like the professionalism. Really
He's leading the field, taking it seriously. He's playing some good professional golf here.
Yeah, looking good, playing good, doing good work. Beautiful to see. Keep up the great work, sir.
Simon with a nice shot right down the middle, fading left in the fairway. Although you play potentially with OB, it does open up the angle of approach. So you want to push as close as you can comfortably without battling that line. Simon just beginning to flirt with it. We'll see Jackson now.
Like good placement.
Yeah, I think he'll have almost a straight line, likely a soft Anheuser backhand or a little forehand. Connagh on the tee.
Oh, early release. Hope we can check up. I think he's safe. Might have a little bit pinched off approach, but could shape up for a decent forehand or a turnover.
Wow, and a steep hyzer out of the hand. He is fortunate to be safe there, a favorable result. We'll see if he can manufacture something to still try and find that elusive birdie. Left with a long look. Maybe not one you want to run, but definitely within range. And Max, you see the danger of playing the right side of the fairway here, really pinching off the angle.
Totally pinched. Looked like he did a pretty good job to recover, but that's a really difficult shot to execute there from where he was. So. Really nice touch.
Yeah.
And on point. Might have to kind of straddle out a little bit to get away from that slanty trunk there, but
Simon showing Jacko the line. We'll see if he can replicate, taking this one a little bit higher. It looks to be stalling out just in time. And a friendly sit down there. They will both be right up there for their birdie putts. But Connagh up first. Oh, and it looks like you did want that.
yeah, he kind of had that one tree in his line, so he had to sort of commit to a little bit more Anheuser putt. Didn't quite get the angle perfect. More open look here from Max. But he's unable to get it up and in.
I think a friendly half bid.
Full go there. Great birdie.
As we find our first 2 birdies of our round 2 lead card performance here on hole 2. Really nicely done by the RPM boys.
Yeah. on how it's done. My first time seeing Simon on coverage. I've heard a lot of stories about him. Seems like a really great guy. Really well loved in the community.
There we go. Check sights. Not the worst of the two problems, but rather not be able to get it out.
2 birdies and 2 pars on hole 2. Moving on to hole 3. Par 3, 97 meters. This is a pure tunnel shot. Just a few trees in the way, as you gotta navigate this very straight, slightly downhill fairway. You just want to try and throw something that you can trust and understand the flight of. Try to land in this little basin that you see coming up, where the basket is perched with this little uphill slope at the end. You do need to control the height and try to not skip or flare off this hard earth.
This beautiful textbook disc golf hole right here. Woods, hitting the gap, controlling the distance, and hopefully getting your birdie. If not, yeah, gotta work hard to get up and down.
It's just there isn't really a fairway. But Simon gets long of the pin with a really nice hyzer flip.
Yeah, it's a tight line, and he knows it well. Riding it through all the way, and nice work.
Great command of the nose and hyzer angles there from Simon.
The 2 inside. Got some pretty good distance though, so he should be able to sort of jump putt approach or get up and down fairly easily. Don't want to kick early, that's the main thing on these really deeply wooded holes. Touch on that. If you can slide up to pin high and inside the circle, I think. Just outside, perhaps.
Yeah, he fought through to that flat ground just at the top of the hill leading to the green. I think he'll be looking for that one to try and keep pace as our leader. 2 pars so far. And a leftward streak kick there for Connagh. He will have some work left to do to make his way to the green.
Really like these technical holes. Going off that fine New Zealand forest here. Good work for the up and down.
And Connagh actually kicking into some rough. He's going to need to throw a scramble shot here, looking for the overhead angle. So he tries to control the power and get the slide. I don't think he got that final slide up to the pin he was hoping for.
I think he's got some work left to do. Good look at how rough that can be, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Great display of how thick it is if you kick off the fairway. Oh, he's got a look, a tiny window.
Chance for a big highlight here. Framed up pretty nicely. Got to keep it low and spin it, yeah. Not an easy putt. Almost got to kind of air bounce it a little. It was such a low ceiling.
Max not too close, but wide open.
Oh, heavy chains, but does not collect.
Jackson with a stress-free par there. This is Simon for birdie. Best shot off the tee of the group. This would be to tie the leader.
Oh, wow.
And a solid putt.
What a great birdie that was. Nailed the line. Sank the putt. Congrats, Simon, on a really, really fine birdie to get. Almost a bonus, like such a tight line, really.
And by the 3rd hole of round 2, our leaders are all tied up at 9 under par. Max and Simon.
Right, close the gap already.
Happens quick out here. As we move on to hole 4, another par 3, this time slightly shorter at 93 meters. This is actually a split fairway. You can go left or right of this tree line. As you see the drone flying right here, there is a late Mando tree that you have to play left of. right about here. And as you battle through this final funneling where the fairways meet, you want to hopefully slide your disc up just through these final gaps over these roots and settle nice and soft. Some true woods golf here.
Yeah, another really sweet one. Nice to have options there, left and right, kind of symmetrical fairways in a way. They're both, yeah, super tight.
And that Mando is about 70 meters up of the 93 in the fairway, so you do need a very precise control of your turn or fade.
This one can sure bite you. You need to commit to your line. Off just a little bit can really bite you. That one late kick. We'll see what he's working with.
I think deep circle 2 there may have a big putt available to him. I believe we're going to see the left fairway being played here. This forehand hyzer needs to push far enough straight before fading right to avoid getting in trouble with that Mando. That looks like it had a ton of power. And it filters through right up to that funneling. He'll also be circle 2 with a birdie look.
Faded out a little bit at the end, but I didn't hear anything. Must be pretty far up there.
Yeah, didn't quite hold the sustained turn he was looking for. A very touchy line to turn over on the left side of the fairway. We see Simon now with his upshot. Sneaks it past the Mando tree,
wow.
over the stump.
Some serious style
Trick shot there from Feasey.
That was cool. Got the rail slide, ollie, kick flip, and landed right under the bucket.
Yeah, Max still a little bit shorter than it looked from the initial camera angle. Definitely a throw.
Be able to save his par. That was definitely going to be a tap-in par there. Ooh.
Max for a chance at a highlight putt around the tree. Hyzer release.
Good effort, but that's going to be an unfortunate bogey for Maxime.
Yeah, coming in as the leader. A little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, not the moves he was looking to be making here on moving day. Starting to lose. Potentially, yeah, I guess he's going to lose that lead. Simon here. +1 on the round. Gonna move to 9 down.
Max, Connagh both tapping out. This is Simon for par. Just like that. Not sure if you'd say he takes the lead.
I guess he just, he maintained
But he
his
does now
score.
have it.
Yeah.
Max has lost the lead
Max conceded it.
to Simon.
Yeah.
And some pars from our other lead card players there. No birdies on the very tricky hole. But hole 5. Par 3, 112 meters. This is a long uphill shot that you just want to crest this tree line. You need a penetrating shot that gets past them, under them, or even around them if you have the power. You want to dig into this hill and take a rest in the nice shade here.
Beautiful guardian
Make
trees.
a nice putt. Enjoy the views.
Yeah, lovely green. Out from the thick of it. But it's still a pretty protected pin at the very end of it. A little bit uphill, and interested to see these local lines. Guys, how to work it. Straight at it from Simon. Riding nice and straight. And again, with the trick shots. He's using the playing surface perfectly. That's going to be another birdie most likely for Simon.
Yeah, great control and knowledge of his discs there. Beautiful hyzer flip. Jacko looking to do the same, but he has turned it over significantly more. He's looking at this backdoor entrance now to the green.
Yeah, Simon seems so deeply tuned into this landscape. Everything's going his way, ramping and skipping. Pretty fun to see.
And he makes it look easy.
Yep.
Or does he make it look feasy?
Easy peasy. easy,
Easy
peasy,
feasy.
feasy. I like it. A little cheesy, but that rhymes too.
Easy peasy, feasy cheesy. Max on the tee.
Easy wheezy. Max.
He'll be looking for a skip here. Yeah,
I thought it would flare
unfortunately, a little
more.
bit of a counterplay. Yeah.
Maybe something a little more overstable or just a touch more hyzer, perhaps.
And I think also really dependent what chunk of grass or dirt that you hit. You can see some parts definitely taller grass than others. And
Yeah, that's
Connagh,
true.
once again, just kissing the pin. This is a big putt. Probably only about 15 meters, but with the uphill playing like 20 or 25.
And the putter's not coming out that clean yet this round for Max. He's kind of, his release point seems to be he's holding on to it for just a tick too long, and they're coming up right side. Hope he can dial that in and take off this slow start. Yeah, chain out
Jackson
there.
finds, just a few chains, not enough to grab the disc.
It was a bit left, yeah. Good comebacker anyway.
Easy feasy.
Bank off the tree and pretty much a tap in bullseye hit. Simon 3 through 5. 2-stroke lead now. He was down 2 coming in, so flaming hot start. Leaving Maxime dead in the water there. Moving on.
Exciting. Hole 6, par 4, 168 meters. You see the beautiful elevated tee as these players will try to crash through this tree line and up the hill on their first shot. As you see this walking path splitting the fairway, it is safe, but right of that you'll see those markers indicating that that is OB, the basket perched just at the top of this hill, wrapped around at the corner. You want big distance off the tee and then try to navigate this very treacherous green.
Beautiful view there. Basket perched up. Nice vantage point. Lovely lush greenery all about. Family out in the park. Beautiful day to watch some disc golf. I'm in command.
He calls for it to swing, and he does. Yeah, that is a great spot to be just by that little path there. We'll give him a soft left to right up the hill. Still flat ground for the footing.
Hyzer at the end. Seems to be in good position. Similar shot there.
And depending on the shape of the shot you'd like to throw on the second, how far left you land can change what you're shooting up to avoid getting in trouble with the OB. The closer to the walking path you are, the more of a straight to right shaping shot. Whereas when you're out on the left, you really want to throw something straight to left to avoid fading towards the OB. And Max with a solid drive. All 4 of these guys right at the bottom of the hill, likely throwing up there blind. They'll need a good degree of touch. Getting pretty warm out here. You'll see those guys using the umbrellas for shade.
Ooh, good move on that. Nice touch to get it to check up. Just outside the bullseye. Nice soft touch on that too. Very clean approach.
Great nose angle just to fight the hill, but then sit down right at the top. Slides his way up. Max here with his Ruru. Oh, a little mean on the edge of that path.
Yeah.
Doesn't get all the way, but definitely close enough to be putting for birdie.
Cost him a few meters, but still in range. Perfectly done right there. I'm in school in these guys.
He's got the moves today.
Yeah.
Max, a confident putt with a very dangerous hill right behind that. Great to see him put that right in the center. As the rest of these guys will also be tapping in their birdies. Great display from the lead card showing us how it's done.
Yep. Sweet start for him.
Hole 7. Par 4, 175 meters. These players will have OB along the entire right side, and as they get towards these large guardian trees and try to battle their way over this path, this left side that you see here in frame is also OB, a little bit of a bar pointing out into the fairway. As they then wrap gradually around to the left, they'll want a long straight shot and then a right to left shape on the second. I think backhand hyzer twice could work out for these right-handed players.
Wind seems to have picked up a little bit out here now. Sure if it's just channeling through this little shape of the hole, but that overturn, and I think he's OB. Surely is.
The first real mistake we've seen from Simon.
Yeah, I think the headwind maybe I caught him off guard or overcooked it a little, but
Again, you do want effectively a straight shot. You do need a little bit of turn here, but too much is the danger as you have a lot more space on the left side if you're throwing short of that second OB island. This one really a demanding shot here. That's a great example of just how much open space there is there on that left side. Just makes the approach angle slightly harder, but by all means possible from there. And Max now has secured his first birdie of the round on hole 6. We'll see if he likes to carry that momentum here to hole 7. He looks to have crushed this one.
he's been just hammering on these Discraft forces.
He's made it all the way to the bend.
Yeah.
He'll have an open look to the basket.
And a great look at the hole there. Yeah, he kind of just gotta push it about as far up as you can. Be rewarded with a pretty routine approach.
We saw Jacko connect with the early tree. He is now trying to push over that OB, make it all the way.
Oh, he did well. Got hung up at the very end of it.
But that was really on a nice line there.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see
He'll
it
have
finish.
a long look for 3. Yeah.
Might have had a circle
have
2
really-
look, or even better, perhaps.
I think he still might have a circle 2 look. I think he may have been parked if that thing could have kept flying.
Yeah, I think you're right. A little bit downhill as well. Would have just kept carrying. Pretty good one there. Simon gonna have to try to scramble to save his par. Take a pretty great save. 4 down through 6. Flaming hot start, but probably gonna have to give one back here. Oh, he might have got there if it weren't for that late kick. Good effort.
Yeah,
oh
with
yeah,
the turn and pace on that. Yeah, he would have. He absolutely would have.
Right on line there. Guess that tree isn't too far from the bucket.
Guardian trees doing their job nicely. Max hanging out his hyzer out wide, swings it back down the hill in circle 1 for his second birdie of the round.
Nice. Good to see him picking up the pace and shaking off those early woes. Like Simon was going to leave him in his wake, but definitely.
And he knows Simon's taking a 4 at best now with the early OB.
Yeah, he's looking to close that gap. Or, I guess, draw even, perhaps.
Simon a long way out for his par save. He'll have just a short putt coming back for bogey now. 4 strokes, but with an OB penalty.
We're going to have a tie ball game again. Disc game in this case. Risky game.
Oh, and a little bit low on the downhill putt there. Can be very tricky navigating that, especially if there's a bit of wind. As we see Max now for his birdie putt.
Big momentum shifter. Simon with the bogey and... Oh! Maxime. Just held on to that one a little too much as well, perhaps.
Some trickiness there. Is still likely to get 1 stroke back on the leader, as well as try to maintain distance from Jackson and Connagh, who are still chasing. And a nice par save there. He did hit that early tree right and even almost had a chance at the birdie still. So great recovery from him off an imperfect tee shot. Still taking a pretty easy looking par, and Maxime the same. Hole number 8, par 4, 164 meters. Another beautiful elevated tee into this long stretching fairway. You see on this right side thick an OB line, but shouldn't really come into play for a lot of these guys as they have all this space out left to try and bomb a drive up. Their second shot will need to battle this hill and the low ceiling to try and find their way up to this green where they can settle and maybe even give it a run from far out, given that the slope behind the basket allows them a little bit of leniency and forgiveness if they want to put it in fast.
A great eagle. Another beautiful hole. Really loving this course. Great views and really nice design.
Yeah, lovely flora, nice views, and some great players. Fantastic disc golf. This is really beautiful New Zealand disc golf coverage.
Yeah, enjoying it so much. Hope you all are as well. Sure you like and subscribe if you're not.
Maybe check out the Patreon.
Yeah. Appreciate that support, and tell your friends if they're into disc golf and sports and beautiful views, nature.
That had a great flight, just a fighting hyzer the whole way. Ton of distance. He will have just a short shot up the hill remaining. Max with a very similar looking shot as he begins to pan out left as well. A little bit of a skip. These guys all seem to be funneling into a very similar landing zone.
No. Didn't love it. Kind of straight at that tree. Yeah, a little bit too much hyzer. So Simon's starting to trip up a little bit here after that really great start, but not the longest par 4, so still a chance to get himself up there for a long look maybe.
But you see, because of the hill, so tricky to try and get there on the second shot from where he is. I do think he is playing for par at best, as he tried to sneak a roller, I believe, uphill.
Yeah, tough to get a roller uphill like that.
Jacko playing the skip shot there, didn't get all the distance that he needs, but will be up there putting for birdie. We see what Max is left with, a beautiful wide open view.
Nice one. Nice to put it close after not really feeling the putting stroke today, so it's good for the confidence just to not have to sweat it. Pretty decent upshot there as well. A little bit of work still, but should have okay footing. How you do it? Right up there for an easy look.
Healthy putt for birdie there from Jacko, battling his way up the hill. Really nice to go 8 under so far. 3 down in the round.
Yeah, and the only clean sheet here. Bogey free on the scorecard, so chipping away.
Great point.
Staying in the mix.
And a great putt from Simon there.
Yeah, that was with authority, wasn't it? He really meant that one.
And with Max having just a short putt for his birdie there, he has once again tied Simon up at 10 under. Jackson 2 behind them, Connagh 2 behind Jackson. As we look to round out this front 9 with a beautiful par 4, 117 meters. You see this beautiful tree on the left of your frame here playing as a mando, forcing our players to play down the right into this long, flat plateau. As it narrows in width, you will see this small entry towards this green with OB lining the entire right side of this fairway. Players will want to really control their speed and angle as they come into this very nice guarded circular green. OB's only on the right side, but long and left still holds quite a lot of danger.
Gorgeous hole with that, like a river flowing in the background. Behind the green.
Very smooth there. Good control of the hyzer. Sits down middle of the fairway. And I always like the use of an elevated tee with a big open field to throw into. Really allows players to try and get a bomb on their drive and get maybe 10 to 20 meters more than they might on flat ground. Always fun to try and rip one.
For sure. Max can sure rip one.
Oh, this looks great as he is fading towards the mouth. The narrowing of the fairway pushes that OB right side the whole way and gets the nice, reliable, overstable finish to the left.
Gets a nice round of applause from the gallery, too. Fully approved.
Oh, Simon's flipped this up. We'll see if he can battle out of the... Oh, it does not come out left soon enough. The final skip, in fact, a counter skip, pushing him OB right.
Yeah, unlucky there. Flirting with danger, though. Trickled out at the end. Another penalty stroke for Simon.
But nice to see the camaraderie from the competitors. Jovial nature from Simon there, chatting with Max.
Yeah, seems like a class act. That was pretty lucky to stay clean. Kicked out from the
Yeah,
buffers.
right?
Oh, no.
Oh. I don't know if he'll get any more distance than where he was. It was tough to say where he crossed and if he crossed back in bounds.
Bit of an unforced error there, yeah. Compounding mistakes now, and that's going to be a big number here on this hole. For Simon, who was coming into it tied for the lead still, even after a little bit of vulnerability there on the last couple holes. Now it's looking like a meltdown. Finish off here.
Jacko and Max so far up there, they could just jump putt their way up to the green, giving them a nice degree of control. You see what Simon is left with here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and he
Clutch.
finds it for a great bogey save.
That was a huge stroke right there. No, 2 OBs.
You have to think
so-
on this par 4, he did just do that with 3 throws. As we take another look here at his putt, OB on his right side and the low ceiling uses all of it to his advantage.
Oh, yeah.
And a stunning catch on the right side just flops in at the last moment.
Yeah, teetering on the edge there, but great save. For the bogey, anyway. Oh, that was pretty. Clean, just dropped it right in there.
And a strong ending. 3 birdies through the final 4 holes on this front 9 for Connagh.
He's got
As we see
inside
another replay.
Yep. Well deserved. Just a perfect pace on that and right on the money. Nothing can go wrong with that putt. That kind of perfect
Max.
pace where it's just landing down in. Yeah, great birdie there from Max as well. Just tapping it in, really.
Good, Jago. Yeah, right. Good putt, man.
The same
Yeah.
for Jacko. As we see another shifting of the seats, Max has once again taken the lead at 11 under. Simon and Jacko tied at 9 under, and Connagh at 7.
Yep. There we see
As-
Max back where
yeah,
he
the
started.
field
Two-stroke
not
lead.
not quite keeping up pace with the leaders as they seem to be separating in strokes a little bit more. Beautiful clean round from Jackson there, as you mentioned earlier. Bogey free. Fantastic performance from him. Great consistency. Still a very tight battle on this lead card.
Some great disc golf action. Big thanks to MDG for making it happen, and big thanks to you all, as well as these touring partners and tournament partners. Come on back for the back 9. Moving day here.